traders, and let's look at the stocks I'm interested in now. This is XCO, which I'm in. Got in at 452. We're currently sitting at 482. So beginning to build a little bit some profit in here. The weekly is nice. That's a nice big bar up here. The oil stocks are good. Some very interesting oil stocks I'm going to look at. And let's just recap on what else. I mean, Hargreaves. I took profits on this. I ramped the stop up to just under 1150 area and got out. So I got in at 1056. So a 92 point move on that one. We'll come back to that. I think that's quite a sell after that test of the 200. Nothing wrong with taking profits up there if you were in that one. And what else do I need to update you on? That's it. Let's look at my current. Last week's entries were ESV. Let's look at ESV. So I'm doing okay in ESV. Let me just get the. I got in at 49.82. So hell, it's one of these stocks where had a very nice move up. So I just sat there with an order out and bid for 49.82 and got filled. Could have got a slightly better deal, but that's okay because I'm in profit anyway. That's current 49.82, currently 50.47. In COG, COG at 33.10. That's currently 33.53. So week 32, I got shook out, and I got a 501 point loss. Week 33, I'm in profit by about 130 points, and I've got another couple of hundred points last week. So yeah, that week 32, volatile week 32, has hit me slightly, although the position sizes I took were small. I have to say, of the trades I took in week 32, most of them worked out. I just got stopped out of them before they went in my favour. For example, DEC. I shorted DEC. I shorted DEC up here. Let me get the right tool. Shorted DEC up here. Began to work, and it did a stop run on me, and then dropped. So I got stopped out here, unfortunately, on that spike high. That's a shame, but that on Friday's action, that looks as if that may even hold anyway. So I'm just steering clear and leaving that. If we return to these highs, in fact I'll put an alarm up there. We start returning to those levels and fail, I might consider another short. But in the meantime, I'm just staying out of it. Right, let's move on to this week. For this week's picks, I'm holding out orders for these and seeing see if I can get filled. NBR, really nice move up. I'm getting in a little bit late, so because it's a quiet week, potentially quiet week for stocks with the US away Monday, I'm going to just hold out some bids on some of these stocks. So on NBR, I want 26.72 there. That's the week's pivot point there. And I'm going to have a stop under there at 26.14. That's NBR. I like RIG. And a hammer in the weekly. So what I'm looking for, again, I'm going to hold out a bid for 38.16 and just tuck a stop down there under 37.90 on RIG. And I like Tyson Foods. Let's have a look at this one. Again, I like the weekly. There's a nice close up here. We came down on this weekly chart here on the left. Came down at 35.25. Pushed right up. I think this is getting ready to go. So I'm looking for 37.70. No, I'm gonna because it's a quiet week. I'm gonna hold out for 37.50 with a stop at 36.87. Just gonna hold out a bid on that since it's hit that trend line on Tyson Food TSN. I like AMD. I need some tech exposure, and the one I've chosen is AMD. Can't close above the 8, so I'm going to hold out a bid for 411 with a stop under 404. Weekly's not so good. It didn't engulf the previous week, hence the reason why I am just going to hold out a bid on that. Chesapeake. I think it's a good, again I'm late on this, big weekly bar, so I'm holding out for 26.78 down on this fib level. So I'm expecting to get filled on a couple and not on the others. I don't know which ones are going to get filled on. So that's fine. If I get filled on all of them, that's fine. I'll just manage my positions. And this is Bank of America, BAC. I'm going to bid for a retrace to 15.65 with a stop at 15.25. If I don't get filled, that's fine. I'm going to leave it. I'm stopping bar in the 8 EMA after this big run, so I may just not get filled. But if that's the case, fine. I will look for some other financial stocks. So I just want some exposure to techs, oil stocks in the form of NBR and RIG, tech stocks in the form of AMD, and I am looking at POT. Let me just find it. Potash, POT, and I'm going to sit tight on this one, but I think the food stocks, I'm looking very hard at the food stocks. I think a lot of the food stocks have been beaten up. The grains have been under a lot of downward pressure with the strength of the dollar. But if I'm watching this one to see how this behaves in this box, if we start to close above 35.50, I want to get in this to see if this can really swing to the upside and recover. So we've hit the bottom of the fib zone and held with a hammer, pushed up into resistance. So if we come back 34.70 and hold, that would be ideal. Because what I'm looking for is this to break out and start reaching for 40 plus. So it was a nice move down here from 30.50 up to 38.60. Now I want to see if we can consolidate. I think there's some institutional buying here. If I'm right, we may dip lower before pushing up to the upside and reaching for some of these higher fib levels. Okay. That's all I've got for you. So I will update the Excel file and then get it off to you. And looking to more than recover my losses from week 33, building on some stocks. I mean, in week 35, sorry, week 34 was my bad one. The week 35 was my good week, and looking for this week to kick in. Okay, so leave that with me. I'll update the file. Happy trading, and see you next.